What's up, amigos? So I'm going to do this short little vlog series. The wife and kids are out of town, and that generally means I get to work 24/7 because I don't feel guilty. I know a lot of you dads out there feel guilty when you have to work too many hours, and moms too, and parents. It's just when you work too many hours, it's hard because you feel like you're not really getting good quality time. So when everyone's gone, I get to work around the clock and try to get ahead or try to get caught up. We're never really ahead, but when you own your own small business, it's always a grind. But I wanted to document these two projects that I'm working on right now. Actually, three projects. I'm going to try to get them done. Tonight's Wednesday night. They come back Sunday night. I'm going to try to get all three of them done. We'll see. Right now it's, let's see, what time is it? It is 11:15 p.m. and I'm going to try to get up at 5 tomorrow to take my pickup that's full of yard debris to the recycler, or yard debris person, I don't know what that's called. And so I'm going to try to wake up early and then get back to the shop and grind it out. So I'm going to flip the camera around and show you these little projects here real quick. So I'm calling this Project Undertaker. It's pretty sweet. What I'm doing is I was gifted several carcasses. I could probably make one rustler and one stampede. And so apparently the stampede, rustler, and slash all kind of carry the same parts, and they're interchangeable. So that's fortunate because we've got a couple slashes on the shelf. So just like our Gen 8s, which one's on the shelf, one's in parts, and one's down below. Just like our Gen 8s, we like having all kind of the same fleet. That way, if something breaks, we have something in stock for it, all that kind of stuff. So tomorrow, tonight I'm kind of taking inventory, and tomorrow I'm going to run by the local hobby shop, which I haven't been to in a while since it's all COVID thing. But looks like I'm going to pick up maybe some rear bearing carriers, definitely new axles, new A-arm. Probably going to get a different body mount. If not, I'll just 3D print my own. And I have electronics for it. I ordered a set of shocks that I'm going to use on the Project Budget Beast mode, which that's the third project I'm going to try to do this week. Since I ordered those shocks, the Gen 8 stock shocks will probably come and get onto this rig, and I'm going to do some tuning on those shocks so that we can run it. But it looks like I'm going to need, on the front end, I'll probably replace the bearing carriers all the way through. And I've got some new tires coming for my Wendigo. I know I just got monster truck tires, but I wanted some better trailing tires. So I got the RC four-wheel drive Mudslinger XLs coming. So that should be pretty cool. And once I put those on, then the 2.2s will go on the Stampede. And it should just be a little basher car, maybe kind of mud racer. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, I'm going to need to get a spur assembly for this too, because I couldn't find the spur. And it looks like, well, I have a spur gear, but I don't have the pegs, so I'll talk to the hobby shop guys about that. Check this out. This is a generation that I skipped of electronics. I remember the old Novax, I want to say like the Roosters or something like that with the purple heat sinks and all that. I've never seen a ESC that looked like this. It's pretty neat. It's kind of neat, the wires they put on it. I don't know if that's what came with it or not, but they're kind of translucent. Pretty cool setup. I don't know if it works. I would assume that it definitely wouldn't work with LiPo. This is going to be a LiPo rig. Probably going to go with a 12-turn Titan just to keep it all Traxxas. I'm not a fanboy or anything like that, but I just want to kind of keep it simple. If they have another motor that's similar priced, I don't know. If it's better, I'll get it. But if not, I'll stick with that because I know you can get those all the time. Here is the Wrestler. So this I'm actually going to make for my daughter. I'm going to get a new body, paint it up pink and black, probably with some graphics. This one also needs a spur assembly. It needs the A-arms, I think are fine. The carriers, I think are fine. I'll see if I can get a bearing kit for it, but it definitely needs new axles. Looks like the shock towers are okay. I've got to set these blue. I found the other blue one in the group of stuff that we got. So I'll rebuild these and clean them up. And then I have another car. If you guys know much about the E-Vaders, let me know. It's an E-Vader ST. I've got a pair of shocks from that are on the one that they gave us. And then I also got a Losi LXT, and there's really not much around for that kind of stuff, but I wish there was because it would be nice, but I need some diff gears and all that kind of stuff. But cool thing about this, I'm going to run this servo if it works. It looks like it's the stock Duratrax servo. The servo that was in the Stampede was actually a Futaba servo, and I tested that and it works well. The other reason why we're doing the Stampede is because I actually have this body. I don't know if you guys, for you that have been following for a long time, I built a WL Toys crawler. It was like our first one, and I hand built it. And I took this Stampede body and bobbed it and painted it, and it turned out pretty rad. It's got lights in it and all that kind of stuff. But this body will go on the Stampede, so that'll look pretty cool. I didn't even notice if it'll fit this. Might be kind of neat looking if it fit that, but I think it's a little too short. So that's the second project. And I had to get up and get this one. So here is the Budget Beast mode. It's the Gen 8 kit. Or actually, this was our first Gen 8. This was the first ready to run that we had. It's got Holmes Hobby Power in there. It's got one of those 25 kg servos. This thing's been a beast. It's been really well, or worked really well for us. So what I did is I took everything apart. We sandblasted the frame. We cut about 1.5 inches or so off of that. And so this is going to be, sorry for the mess. This is going to be this truck here. And I'm going to do a tuber rear half on it. Should look pretty cool. It's going to be for my son. So that'll be a cool ride. I guess one small thing that I'm going to do, and I might do that tonight just so you guys can see it, but I was talking about the cantilever suspension on the WRV, and I made a new shock mount for it today, right before I left the shop. And this is actually pretty cool. So this, I have a magnet mounted here on the existing one, and the flatbed clamshells and clicks to this. Even though this is aluminum, the magnets on here bolts up to it. I'll show you that. I'll probably do that tonight, actually. I'll do that tonight real quick before I hit the sack. Let's see what time it is. Just about 11:30. Pay no attention to those steps. I have to take my watch off while I'm at the shop so I don't melt it when I'm welding or doing whatever I'm doing there. So, let's see. Let's jump into the WRV. Actually, I wanted to see if this would fit on here for a little rear tray, which would be kind of cool. But there's not enough support. So to the WRV it goes. Hang tight. Before I get too far into it, I thought you guys might want to see this. Is kind of ironic. That's Mr. Losi. That's not Mr. Losi, but that's Mr. Losi himself. I'm watching an episode of Car Masters, just getting back into that show on the iPad on the workbench while I do that, but I just thought it was funny. So here is, well, I'll bring them both up here. There's one. Here's number 2. Now, I'm pretty sure these are the Losi LXTs. I did a little bit of research. This is also one of the groups that I got. At first, I thought it was an E-Vader, I think one of them might be, but I think the other one is a Losi XT. Because, where was it that I saw I think the CVDs. These are from the Losis, and this one has a transmission. The other one doesn't, but the gear's stripped out in it. And I can't find that gear. If I could find that gear, I would rebuild this one and make a third truck out of it. And just throw some, it looks like the Traxxas stuff might fit on there. If not, I don't know. I don't know if it's worth it, but I could always make some A-arms out of aluminum or something just to get it on the road. But I thought you guys might think that was pretty cool. All right, bear with me a little bit with the jiggly camera. I just have it set down in front of me. But, so I already experimented a little bit with it. I took out all the cantilever stuff and found that there was another hole that I had left up in this mount that I made. And I'll show you what that looks like here in a second. Let's turn off my iPad here so it's out of the way. So if you reach under here, you press up. Oh, that's a heavy magnet. There's this massive magnet. It's like a, oh, and there's all the wires. But I don't remember what the pull on the magnet is. I seriously think it's like a, I don't know, probably like a 40-pound pull. It's ridiculous. But, so in the meantime, I am going to prop the hood up open like so. Hopefully it stays open. And so I have the hobby wing in there, 1080, a rat's nest of wiring. I threw this together for the, what was it, Northwest Hobby Expo. And I wanted to go and show it there my first time, and we did pretty well. Actually, right there, let's see if you can zoom in there. Took second at the concourse, so that was pretty cool. So this mount here, pretty cool mount. I fabbed that up, did all the CAD, cut it out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove the shocks, remove this whole deal, and put the new one on that I had just made. That'll move the shocks for a forward lean position. If you can, why don't you leave me a comment? I don't know. I'm looking at geometry. I've built race cars and hot rods before. I'm not a suspension tech, but the geometry doesn't seem to change a whole lot from forward to back unless you're getting kind of a low profile deal. But the ride height doesn't really matter to me. The problem was this body, this is so heavy because this is steel that it would, with the cantilever, kind of unload when it's going downhill and it'd roll over the front. Or if it was going uphill, the back wheels would suck underneath with the bed still staying there and it would want to flip over backwards. So that's why I want to tighten this up real quick. So let's see if I can take these off real fast. All right, so I lied about the time lapse. That didn't work out, but here's something funny. Okay, so this is the old mount, and I forgot, you can't see, but I forgot I tapped this in, the screw that holds on the magnet. And on the new mount, it doesn't have that up here, because I forgot. It's got a pilot hole, but I forgot. So what I was hoping to do is or what I was thinking would be a quick fix, was to just put a nut on the back of it temporarily until I get one better from the shop. But here's the funny thing. My wife is always on me. I don't know why all this crap is in here, but this is stuff found from Pockets. Squeegee. I always use these applying graphics. Another knife. I'm a knife guy. I don't know why there's all these toys are from the kids, obviously. And there's a drift. Always need a drift in my pocket. Bunch of screws. She's always telling me that there's always screws going through. So what I need is a 1024 nut. That's an 8x10. Oh. Bingo. 1024 all day. Here, hold on. Let me set this down. Oh, let's see here. I'm pretty sure that's 1024. Yes, sir. All right. Now we're in business. Let me put this down. Okay. So I'm not going to set up the tripod to show you how I drill a hole or how I screw down a screw, but I will show you once I'm done how everything sits. I like the rear end now. The geometry looks pretty good. It has nice opposition to the 4-link with those angles. I think it looks good. So let's drill this hole and wrap it up. Say hi to Jesus and Bob. All right, man, hold on. All right, so that's mounted underneath there with a nut. I'll probably get a more low profile nut at the shop and Loctite it rather than that Nylock. That probably isn't gonna do anything. Gotta hide all my wires up in here. I'm gonna have to go through this because I want to change some stuff up anyway. So let's see if I can get this body to sit just right. Oh, there we go. You heard it snap. It looks to be pretty straight. Yep, there it goes. All right, let's see how she sits. Oh yeah, that's like money in the bank. Look at that. Oh yeah, she sits nice and flat there. So it's kind of a full slump setup, I guess you could say. But what I can do is that these bad boys are adjustable. If I can get my sausage fingers in there. I could probably, yep. So what I'll do is I'll back them out quite a bit so it doesn't slump so much. But I think that's going to be the ticket. Maybe put some heavier oil in there. Let's make them pretty tough. Oh yeah, much better. Let's get this side. So I've been asked quite a bit about my scale accessories. I did a couple how-tos on some of the cool one-off stuff, but I don't really trail with that stuff in the truck just because, well, some of the stuff I already lost. So I ended up just putting it in a little holder for if I go somewhere that I need to show it, then I'll put it in there if I need points. But I haven't done that in a while. Plus this car wasn't really, or this rig wasn't really set up to do any kind of comp crawl or scale. We did some scale runs with it, but I didn't do very well just because the suspension wasn't quite dialed yet. But we're getting there now. I think we're just about maxed out. Oh yeah. Now we are looking good. So the problem I had with the other setup is that it would want a body roll really, really bad. And this still has a little body roll to it, but I can let out some of the front. And maybe by letting this a little bit softer, I know it won't help a whole lot, but it'll make it so it'll just sit lower. Anyways, my scale goodies, with the exception of this one, which was super awesome. I got this from Pushrod 3D. Everything else, except I guess this too. This is just a little Amazon fire extinguisher. My battery box, I designed and 3D printed. My winch control box, I designed, well, I didn't design the crate. That's just a Thingiverse thing. But I hid it in there. And then my little keg. Gotta have some brew when you're out there. So I just I think I got that off Thingiverse. Sometimes I get things off Thingiverse and then I model over them. Yeah, poor light bar, man. My light bar's seen better days. That thing got hammered. I don't know if any of the lights work anymore. It's a heavy rig, so falling over makes it pretty rough. All right. I think we're good. Oh yeah, I guess I bought the winch too. Winch is kind of just for looks. It doesn't, this rig's so heavy, it doesn't really do a whole lot for it. I definitely want to get one of those self-recovery straps. Man, the name is slipping my mind right now, but saw them on Instagram. They're pretty rad. They're out of Florida, I believe. Anyway. All right, so it is now midnight. So we got the WRV squared away in about half an hour. I need to hit the rack because I got to get up early in the morning and get some chores done before work. And then I'll be at the shop. When I head out to the shop, I'm going to be getting down with the budget beast mode. For those that don't know, well, this cage is done in brake line, 3/16 brake line, but I wanted to go with something a little bit fancier. I'm not sure why I went with a stainless. I got stainless line, welds a little nicer. I'm gonna have to TIG weld it though, but that's gonna be the tube chassis for beast mode. And then we're gonna powder coat it. We're gonna powder coat it the same green as a stand, which will be cool. We're gonna paint the body gray and then put blue underlights underneath it, gray wheels, green rings, and I got blue shocks coming. Should look pretty rad. Seahawks theme, beast mode. It's gonna look pretty good. I'm gonna have to go a little overkill with the cage for my son though, because I don't think he grasped the gravity of a 3D printed body that took 2.5 days to build. But you know, he'll learn. But I am very anxious for this new setup. I definitely want to get out there and give it a run. I would say I try to do it tomorrow before work, but that's not realistic. But yeah, I think, let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions for, I think a sway bar is in order. Sway bar would help this a lot. Maybe some limiting straps. But if you have any suggestions, leave a comment. I'm going to try to get these up the day after, so maybe tomorrow. They're going to be super rough cuts though, so very rough, so don't expect a whole lot. I don't think I'm going to throw music over it. Maybe on the other stuff I will, if I don't get to bed so late. So all right guys, like, subscribe, all that kind of junk. Leave a comment, especially on those questions that I was asking. That'd be rad. And hope you guys have a great day tomorrow, which would be Thursday. Have a good one. Good night.